Hello everyone and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. Today we'll be talking about cucumbers, cats, and those crazy viral videos and what it all means. Before we take a look at this rather lighthearted subject, let's take a look at this topic overview. Cats are believed to be afraid of cucumbers because they look like snakes. This is possible, but the cat is likely or frightened by the sudden appearance of something unexpected. Cats loathe being snuck up on from behind. The sudden appearance of anything, especially an object with no scent, will trigger a fight or flight response in felines. Rather cut and dry, right? Yeah, I think we all knew that, but today we'll attempt to take a deeper dive into this interesting topic. On a personal note, I really have no idea where all this started. I probably started seeing videos on this very platform 5 or 6 years ago featuring cats jumping up and all but climbing the walls in an effort to escape cucumbers. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think we can all admit that much, but is it smart? Can it be harmful to the cat both physically and emotionally? Can it actually hinder your cat's relationship with you? Those are the questions that we'll attempt to tackle and answer today. Before we get things rocking and rolling, we have a full length and highly detailed article dedicated to this very topic over at SeniorCatWellness.com. So, at the conclusion of this video, we invite you to head on over and check it out if you'd like to know more. With that said, let's get started. As was somewhat alluded to in our topic overview, it's not the cucumbers. Cats do not have a fear of cucumbers in the most literal sense. In truth, the freak out moments that we all see in these videos could pretty much be caused by almost anything. I'd guess that if you snuck up behind a cat and placed a rubber mouse or something, the feline would possibly have a similar reaction. What makes these cucumber videos really work when it comes to eliciting a response from the cat is that one common and critical factor they all share: the sneak attack. If you see a cat eating, relaxed, minding its own business, and then as soon as it turns around, boom, crazy reaction. Well, the reaction is not caused by the cucumber in the most literal sense. It's caused by the visual appearance of something the cat did not see coming, did not expect to see, did not hear, something that shouldn't be there, etc. Have you ever placed a box in the middle of your living room floor? Bought a new piece of furniture? Left a shoe on the floor? Just anything that breaks from the routine that is expected, that expected visual. Well, what's the first thing that your cat probably does? Walk on over, check it out. Smell it up and down, perhaps even touch it. The same is true here, only instead of the cat being able to approach the new or strange item, it comes in the form of a sneak attack. As soon as the cat turns around and sees this thing on the floor, first reaction is, what the heck's going on? And it's time to get busy and get out of here. Natural instincts kick in just like they would in the wild. Again, the item in question is pretty much irrelevant. Stick a pear or a banana behind a cat. Good chance the feline will do a little freak out dance for your camera. As for the elephant in the room, some suggest that cats act this way specifically to cucumbers because they think, well, it's a snake. Well, there's obviously no true way to know that. It makes sense on the surface, but there's likely a better chance that it really all boils down to something just unfamiliar. I went over to my food bowl. Everything looked normal. Once I turned around, there was this thing right behind me I've never seen or heard from prior. Again, if executed properly, a cat will probably jump, cucumber or no cucumber. Probably has less to do with the whole "I think it's a snake" logic and more to do with where the heck did this come from logic. And yes, I know I just spent way too much time on this subsection for such a lighthearted topic. So your cat is not afraid of cucumbers? Well, darn. That takes all the fun out of life. If your cat's not afraid of cucumbers, I guess there goes your shot at a viral video. Well, in all seriousness, though, some cats just don't care. They just don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Completely unfazed. I had a senior cat that was well over 20 years of age, and even to this day, I am convinced that the apocalypse could have been at hand, and he would have just kept on eating. Aloof, to say the very least. Now, just because your cat doesn't execute some insane jump at the very sight of a cucumber doesn't mean the cat wasn't startled. Some cats just have a different reaction. Some are more curious than afraid. This means that the cat could just turn around, tap that cucumber a few times, see what the world's going on, just to see what it is. I guess more importantly, see if that cucumber is going to fight back. And then when nothing happens, the feline is just off on its own to watch some TV, right? While this topic is totally zany, obviously, especially compared to everything else we discuss on this channel, and on our site at seniorcatwellness.com, there is somewhat of a serious factor that is involved here. Stuff like this, well, it's all for your pleasure, for my pleasure. Strangers on the internet, I get it. And it's funny. However, there is some level of harm that could come from these gags and pranks. If your cat does have a brutal freakout reaction and it drops you to your knees in laughter, you must also realize that your cat also had a very real reaction, a reaction of fear. There are several outcomes that could come from a prank like this. First of all, your cat could become very angry because the feline has been filled with such emotion. Your cat could take that crazy startled jump for your camera and then claw and bite you for all you're worth. Your joke could come at the cost of a few wounds to your hands, your arms, your face, etc. Another result of this prank could be physical harm to your cat. While emotional trauma, at the least in the moment, is a given, obviously, your pet could also sustain an injury. We've all seen those crazy compilations where cats all but bounce off the ceiling. Never underestimate the physicality required in that moment and the ligament and tendon damage that could occur. Once that fight or flight kicks in, some wild things can happen. And here again, we all love a good laugh, but a prank like this should never, ever be played on a senior cat. If your cat is 12, 13, 20 years old, do not even think about this. Some serious physical damage could be done. If your cat does become terrified, it'll do what it needs to do regardless of its own health status. So you don't need to have a cat that can barely walk jumping up out of fear from a cucumber. Here again, your cat will react first, and that reaction could have dire consequences. The last point of concern involves harm to the bond, meaning your cat can learn not to trust you. Your pet looks at you as a source of trust and security. While they probably won't know that you caused this entire situation to unfold, they will remember that you were there and didn't protect them. Repeated behaviors like this or those similar will cause your cat to view you as a danger, you personally as a danger. If your cat feels that it can no longer trust you, it will start living by its own rules. This can lead to some major discipline issues. Cats are quite fragile emotionally. While they appear calm, felines are very nervous creatures. They want peace and relaxation and security if they can find it. If the security of their home environment has been shattered, they can not only grow to distrust you, but suddenly the home is no longer a safe haven. While it's certainly stating the obvious, your cat is not going to understand this joke. No clue, no idea. However, what they will understand, and very much so, is fear. While the actions are a prank, and the reaction your cat has is very real. That's the key. Your reaction of laughter is real, but their reaction of fear is very real. That's why it's important that you think twice before subjecting your pet to something traumatic like this just for a little YouTube fame and a few laughs with your family and friends and your buds and whoever else. The cucumber vids, they're pretty funny, but cheap laughs should never come at the cost of a loving and caring animal that just has no idea what's going on. So, the core question: why are cats afraid of cucumbers? Well, they're not. They're afraid of the sneak attack. They're afraid of something that has disrupted their concept of normal. There's a good chance that over time, they've probably let their guard down within your home because they trust you and they trust their surroundings. So, to turn around and see something that doesn't belong can be quite a shock to the system. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. Again, if you'd like to know more about this topic, please visit us at seniorcatwellness.com. We provided a link in the description box below to our full-length article. So, what's up? Have you ever pulled this prank on your cat? Is it a silly prank, a harmless prank, or just a stupid and dangerous prank that should never be attempted? Give me your personal thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And until our paths cross again, and I certainly hope they do, we will talk to you later.